Okay, guys, let's talk our way through some tracking. So there's a pair of keys on the ground there. Handler indicates on the pair of keys. Dog initially goes in the wrong direction, but then you can see he immediately reacquires the correct trail. Conditions are difficult today. Freezing temperatures, ice and gravel on the driveway. There's a number of corners and 2 road crossings involved. The handler has no idea where I went because that will create the best results, so he can't unintentionally help the dog. He doesn't know if the dog's right or wrong. He just has to read the dog. So the gate here provides a natural obstacle that funnels the dog in the wrong direction. I did not go this way. But the dog does the right thing. He stops moving forward and he circles back to reacquire the odor, and he does. Here's the first corner, and the dog makes that naturally. You could argue that the road helped him a little bit because, the dog naturally wants to stay on a more porous kind of surface. But even still, it's important to note, with the temperatures and the way things are, it's not, easy tracking conditions, even on the shoulder of the road. So we've got a number of new complexities to throw at the dog. 2 road crossings, for one thing. And then, of course, we've got the cars coming by, which create a break in the track, and a distraction, and the dog has to work through that. I think a lot of dogs struggle with, stopping a task and then reacquiring that task without a lot of assistance from the handler. And this is something we want to see the dog again. So here, he made the road crossing perfectly, but then he blew past the corner, and then again you can see him work back into odor, which is what we want to see. We want to see that natural problem-solving behavior without the handler having to tell the dog to do it or show the dog on his own naturally reacquiring the odor. So again, you can see he's back on the trail here. And you'll see a couple times, he might get slightly distracted or lose odor, and again, you see him work his way back. So there again, there's a slight distraction. Again, he works his way back into odor and reacquires the task that he's supposed to do. Here, there's a car, and you don't even really see the dog, leave the trail. He's just working here, and that's what we want to see. I think the big mistake a lot of people do is when they're tracking, they throw complexity at the dog in the midst of a long track. I don't want to throw complexities at the dog that I haven't isolated. So for instance, a road crossing on a hard surface, that's a complexity. Why would I throw that into a 500-meter track? First, let me focus on just making these short successes within those complexities, whether it's distractions, whether it's hard surfaces, whether it's road crossings, whether it's cars. Let's work on those before we add them to a 700-meter track. So again, here the dog is making success in the next road crossing, and he's able to find me. I think the big mistake a lot of people make is they do these huge long tracks, and then they throw curveballs at the dog within the track that they haven't yet prepared the dog for. And we want to set the dog up for success, so we do the small things first.